Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember, subscribe is the vibe. Your boy's on the road to 10K. Humbly. The like button is like, but the subscribe button is earned. But yo, before we get into this video about how the Giants are self-destructing, so we live in America, right? The system's not always perfect. It's flawed in some avenues. And no matter what they do, we somehow can't ever seem to get it perfect. There's always something to complain about. Whenever I get triggered by someone getting arrested in this country, I always think to myself, damn, I hate the system. And one of my partners always tells me, yo, bro, laws are legal. They're not logical. So there are certain crimes that you could commit that are just really dumb as hell, but the system is the system, so they have to abide by the rule no matter what it is. You know what I mean? I've even seen someone get arrested for jaywalking, and everybody jaywalks, although I don't recommend it. So what these grandfathered systems don't prepare for is change. And change is inevitable. That brings me to the Giants, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL has a system where it's a quarterback-driven league. You want to prioritize your quarterbacks. The quarterback is who wins the championship. He's the leader. He's the face of the franchise. He's supposed to be him. But then there are times where you don't have a quarterback, but yet you still follow the system of prioritizing the guy. And that's what the Giants have done. So this offseason, the Giants have paid Daniel Jones a whopping 4-year, $160 million. That number don't matter. It's the $80 million that's guaranteed. Daniel Jones has had one good season. I'm sorry, Giant fans. Y'all gotta hear the truth. He's had one good season. But that one good season actually came on the back of Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is the best player on the Giants. But the system doesn't recognize that because the running back position is underappreciated. So heading into last season, the Giants opted out from paying Daniel Jones his 5th-year option. The 5th-year option would have gave him about $15 million. And prior to the start of last season, the Giants didn't think he was worth it. So they were gonna willy-nilly let him play on 1 year and possibly let him walk. But what their system wasn't ready for was the fact that Daniel Jones led the Giants to the playoffs, but it wasn't really Daniel Jones now, was it? Anybody with an eye for football knows that Saquon Barkley is the best player on the team. He's the most talented player. He's their playmaker. He's their engine. He's the motor that makes them go. But there's a system, and the system says prioritize quarterback, even if they're not that good. So Daniel Jones has a successful season. The Giants go into the playoffs. They actually make it to the second round after upsetting the Minnesota Vikings on the road. So therefore, the Giants is like, here's $80 million. Even though you sucked the past 4 years, the system says to pay you. But what the system doesn't recognize is the change in the system. And where that system gets exposed for being flawed is the fact that Saquon Barkley is the best player on the Giants and he can't get paid, but y'all gonna pay some bum ass Gabos. But you're gonna pay Daniel Jones all that money and you're gonna leave Saquon Barkley hanging. Now, I'll be completely objective. Saquon Barkley has only had one healthy season, but at the end of the day, it's the NFL. By not giving Saquon Barkley his extension, you guys are about to expose a quarterback that you paid $80 million for, who's honestly not that good. But the system says, pay your quarterback. But logic says, Saquon Barkley is the best player. I think we should probably pay him. But the system is bigger than my opinion and your opinion and common consensus. Because if the system was built on logical expectations, Saquon Barkley would be the highest paid. So to go back to the theory that my friend always tells me that laws are legal, they're not logical, so is the NFL. Because some of this bullshit don't make sense. Saquon Barkley should have been the first dude you paid, bro. Screw the system. Pay the best player on the team that actually deserves the bread. Y'all was about to let Daniel Jones walk. All of a sudden he brings you to the playoffs and he the second coming to Eli? I beg your pardon? But we're gonna get right into how the Giants failed to reach a long-term deal with their best player. Appreciate y'all.
Breaking news now, sponsored by Nico Lock. Wow, definitely didn't see that not happening. The Giants and running back Saquon Barkley couldn't come to terms on the long-term deal by Monday's deadline, and now all eyes are on if he'll play on the franchise tag or if he's gonna hold out. Both Giants and NFL fans and media were refreshing their internet browsers all day, but no news on a long-term deal broke. Barkley previously turned down a multi-year extension worth $13 million per year with only $19.5 million guaranteed, as first reported last week by the Post. However, according to Giants Insider and NorthJersey.com, the team increased the guaranteed portion to slightly north of $22 million. And in exchange of upping the guarantees, they lowered the average annual value on that offer, sources told the Post. Now, the $22 million is a relevant number because it's in the ballpark of what Barkley would be guaranteed if he plays on the franchise tag in 2023 and 2024.
All this is just a direction where the NFL has been heading for the past couple of years. You see the Vikings letting go of Dalvin Cook. Like, they just don't appreciate running backs. They really do view running backs like they're expendable. But the thing is, when you have a great running back, you can't implement that viewpoint on someone who's actually worth the money. Now, granted, Saquon has never really been healthy with the exception of last year. If you don't have Saquon, y'all don't go nowhere. Am I the only person that's confused? People got to understand the offense opened up because Saquon Barkley was actually healthy. It's not because Daniel Jones got better. It's because he kept on giving the ball to his best player.
Now, Saquon has been the best player on the Giants and their offense since he was drafted in the first round by the team back in 2018. In 5 years, he's ran the ball 954 times for 4,249 yards and 29 touchdowns. Now, since a long-term deal couldn't be reached, Barkley must play on the franchise tag, which is 1 year, $10.1 million, or hold out. If he doesn't play on the tag, will he hold out just for training?
Of course he's holding out.
Or does he sit out the entire season? That's the new questions Giants fans are asking themselves. The Giants' first open training camp practice goes down on Wednesday, July 26th.
This becomes a battle of leverage. You know, if Saquon Barkley holds out, he's basically going to hold back to see if the Giants succeed or not. If the Giants prove to still win games without him, then he loses all the leverage. But if the Giants start off 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, then it will pressure the front office to actually get a deal done because you need this guy. I mean, I ain't gonna front, this dude's one of the top running backs in the league, and he's only, what, 26? You know what I mean? Maybe if that. Saquon Barkley's young. So, again, to pay Daniel Jones, listen, man, I ain't a hate on, and I ain't counting nobody's pockets, but you got $80 million invested into Daniel Jones. He's not even top 15. Saquon Barkley, top 3 running back. Is it me, or does it seem like this is a decision I could have easily made in Madden? But again, real life is reality and not a video game, but sometimes it makes you question legal versus logical. I don't know. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Giant fans, I know y'all triggered. Let me know in the comment section what you think the Giants are going to do this offseason, because if y'all don't play Barkley, y'all going to be a shit show. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Of course, Mamba out, man.